Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm getting all my stuff together for our first hunting trip. We're headed out to Montana in just a couple days. I thought this would be a good time to go over all of the gear that I'm going to be using for the 2023-24 Upland season. I just want to give a brief overview of all the things I'm going to use and what we're packing for me, for the dogs, for our truck camping setup. Hopefully some of these tips help you. Let's dig in. Let's go from the ground up here. First thing I got are these crispy guides. I bought them last year, so I've got one season underneath them. I came from using Danners and Irish Setters, and these are by far the best boot that I've ever had. These are the most waterproof, and the tread does an excellent job of making you stick to the ground, especially when you're side hilling on the steep slopes and your footing isn't great to begin with. Totally waterproof. The laces cinch down really tight, and I tried on a whole bunch of different pairs of boots before I settled on these, and these fit my foot the best. Very short break-in period. I never got blisters. These come in wide sizes, which I need. When I was reading, I read that these boots with the full rubber band that goes around don't tend to stretch after they're broken in. So I ended up sizing up a half size because it was just a little snug despite being the wide width. Now that I've got a season underneath them, these stretch out fine. So I don't think I would have sized up. I would say when you're buying these, make sure that they're just on the snug side to begin with, and they'll loosen right up. I feel like they're a little bit too big for me now. I'd have been better served with the half size down. Overall, I really, really like these boots. New for this year are the QU Pro Brush pants, and they're already a little dirty because I've been wearing them around when I've been working with the dogs to try to get a feel for them. I don't know, they're something like 20 ounces. They're really light. They're supposed to be completely burr-proof. They come with suspenders, which actually fit me. I've got short legs and a long torso, so I even have a little bit of room left on the suspenders. I have a hard time finding suspenders that fit because they're typically just too short. The one weird thing with QU pants is their standard comes in a 34-inch inseam. So I, even at 6 foot tall, had to go with the short. The shorts are 31. I usually wear between a 30 and a 32, so these work perfect. There are a bunch of side vents for air circulation. They even got some side vents in like the gooch area here, which is fantastic to get a nice cross breeze on the gooch area. And then they come with a hook at the bottom of the pant leg that hooks to your boot so your pants aren't riding up when you're in the brush. I'm excited to put these through the ringer and get a season behind them and see how they do. Next up, I've got the Alps Upland Extreme Pack. This is the first model, or the older model that they made. I saw that this year they've come up with a second version that looks more like the Orvis Pro Strap Vest than it does this. And I've noticed that a lot of the vests are going to a buckle closure for the game bag instead of a zip. And I think that's for two reasons. I think having the buckles makes it easier for you to reach your hand in the game bag. And then I've seen like the Final Rise vest, they advertise that you can carry your dog out should there be an injury. So I've got 3 seasons on this vest now. This year I just put on these straps to do just that. I can fit Chester in the pack should I need to carry him out. And then if I'm out hunting bigger birds or just I got a gloved hand or something like that, I want easier access into the game bag. My thought was I could just unzip it so it's wide open, buckle these up, cinch them down a little ways, and then I have a whole bunch more room to be able to fit my arm in there or fit a dog, or say I find like a big shed or something like that, a big like bighorn sheep skull would be pretty sweet. I'll just stick that thing right in here, and God, we'll be a happy guy I'll be a happy camper if that's the case. Let me zip this guy back up here. Zips up open so you can clean out the inside. I guess people clean out their game bag out. I'm not trying to wash away memories. I've never had a problem with this thing coming unzipped, and there's a little hook and loop closure situation at the end here. Oh, come on. Bang. On the back, you've got a pocket for gear. You've got two side pockets here. I stuff some Swedish fish for my boy in there. And then I usually carry a couple protein bars or something. Looks like the other side's empty at the moment. I usually stuff a couple snacks in there for me. It's got this drawstring thing that you can strap like a jacket or whatever onto. When you do that, it's hard to get in the pocket. You got to take your jacket off. So I'm hopeful that with my new straps that I sewed on here that I'll be able to carry a jacket a little bit higher up. Two big side pockets, so I can fit a liter bottle on each side. There is a spine to this bag, so it sits upright on itself, which I think helps to distribute the weight a little bit. There are a bunch of straps in the front, hooks for a water bladder, and then you've got straps and hooks and D-rings, so I can strap collars, remotes. I strap everything that I don't want to lose down to this vest so I don't drop it somewhere. As for the belt, I'm not sure who they made this for. I wear a 34-inch set of pants around the waist, and I have this thing cinched down as tight as it goes, and it's still sometimes a little loose. And there is, I mean, you're accommodating like, you can accommodate Mega Man with this thing. But there are little, on the belt, between the belt and the ammo pocket, there's a little space here that I just tuck in the extra padding for, or the extra strap for. The shell pockets, Alps, if you're listening, these are the dumbest thing I think you could have put on here. And their new bag comes with, they've upgraded it just a little bit, but it comes with the same basic idea. They say that you can put a full box of shells in each one of these, but I don't know who's running around with 50 shells on their pack at a time. So I put a handful in. It closes fine, but I sometimes lose shells out of here. When you're throwing it around the back of the truck or you bend over, I've noticed that I drop a couple shells. Not the end of the world, but I think that there's definitely room for improvement. I'd like to see just a traditional shell pocket there. And then they have this little gimmicky gun rest kind of situation, which I actually use once in a while. Magnetic shut. Fits really well, it carries really well. When I was looking for a pack, my main priority was carrying as much water as I could. I come from hunting the grouse woods in northern Minnesota, where finding water is not a challenge at all. There's water everywhere. And then when I go pheasant hunting in the prairie pothole area of South Dakota, water is not hard to come by either. As soon as I started branching out down to Nebraska, Kansas, and out west, I realized that water is not everywhere. So, between the two 1 liter bottles that you can carry here, and then the room for a 3 liter water bladder, I can carry 5 liters at a time, and that's still not enough to get us by on some days. I have put this vest through the ringer. It's been in below freezing, it's been in 100 degrees, it's been through thick brush and the snow, the mud, and there is not a rip. All of the seams are perfect, the stitching's not coming out. I really like this vest. I'm really, really happy with this purchase. While we're at it, let's take a look and see what I carry inside this bag for supplies. A leash, because you never know when you're going to need a leash. I carry a snare cutter, So this is a specific tool for cutting snares should your dog get trapped in one. I've got a multi-tool. I've got sugar packets for if the dogs have a low blood sugar situation, which we've had to use a number of times. Sugar packets. Don't do the honey. It freezes, it crystallizes, it's a mess. Don't do jellies and syrups. Get yourself sugar packets. I got some roll gauze. I got some non-stick. I got a little stretch bandage, more gauze. Super glue in case I gotta glue up a little cut or something in the field. Shove all this back in here. Carry a dog boot in case we get a sore paw, which does happen, especially early season. And then new for this year, since I have a little bit of room, I've got my Sawyer squeeze and then another 3-liter bag for dirty water. This happens to be a CNOC bag. I really like this bag. You can squeeze and really wrench on this thing and it's not going to blow up on you. And then it's got this great big reservoir at the top so you can fill it easy. There have been a number of times that we've had to turn around because we're starting to run low on water despite carrying 5 liters. So I'm hoping that if I come across a dirty stream or like a cattle pond or something like that, we'll be able to refill our water regardless of the quality of water that we come across. And then I carry a whistle, just in case. So if we're going to be doing a real far trek or something like that, sometimes I'll throw a headlight in here. I don't carry much to start fires. I fully intend on coming back to the truck one way or another. And I suppose, like all of the rest of this stuff, I'll learn the hard way before I throw it in there. All the stuff that I carry is stuff that I, at one point in time, wish I had in the field and didn't. So that is the Alps Extreme Bag. I really like it. As far as talking about water bladders, I've got the Alps water bladder. This thing's 3 seasons in, doesn't leak. Absolutely phenomenal. Holds all 3 liters, big hole at the top to fill it. And then the end that the water comes out of, you can twist it halfway to be able to suck water out of it like a traditional water bladder, or it'll come all the way open and it'll just drain out. So I will, a lot of times, use this to fill our dog bowl or just to refill the liter of water. It makes it really easy to do that on the fly without taking off your pack. Really like the Alps water bladder as well. Carry just a small collapsible water bowl. When water is so hard to come by, I can serve every drop, so I fill the bowl instead of just squirting in their mouths when I'm really trying to save on water, because then I can pour whatever they don't drink back in. And I just typically clip this right to my bag. As far as collars go, I got 2 Garmin, I think they're Deltas, just the basic collar. My lab wears one, and then when we're not hunting, my short hair wears the other. Puppy. Can you not see that I'm busy? We're filming a YouTube video and you're in the way. Let's see. Chester wears a TT15 collar, tracking collar, and then I've got the Alpha 100. This is my second one. The first one that I bought almost right out of the box, had no idea where he was. He'd be 20 yards ahead of me and it'd say that he was 70 yards behind me. I thought that I was doing something wrong. I thought that maybe it was showing me which direction he was traveling versus the orientation that he is from me. Called Garmin after a while, after I realized that it's just not me messing this up. And their customer service was meh. Talked to a couple people, they wanted me to update all the software. We have an Apple computer. you can't update the software with Garmin on an Apple machine. They recommended that I go to the public library to try to fix the collar, which was absurd. Absolutely absurd. Garmin's like the biggest GPS dealer in the world, and they don't make an app that supports Apple. So I went around, I did all that, still was having issues, and like the third guy I talked to said, I don't know what we've been doing, we're just gonna send you a new remote. So thank you to the guy that just sent me a new remote. It's working awesome. Saved me from just throwing all of my Garmin stuff away and going with a different company. So thank you, dude. Let's see what else we got. We recently switched to Victor Edge Energy. My lab does not tolerate chicken real well. She gets awfully itchy, and we're having a really hard time finding the beef formula for the Purina Pro Plan Sport. So we've switched to this. So far, so good. I'll let you know how this does after we get a few hunts in. Going on food, I was looking for a container that I could have more than a few days worth. The little container that we have at home just does not support longer hunting trips. And I looked at some of the food bins that they have that have a little bit bigger storage capacity, and they want like $60 for it or something ridiculous. I got the incredibly high-tech 5-gallon bucket. It holds like 14 days worth of food for the 2 dogs, and it was all of $6. So no way I'm spending $60 on something that does the same thing. Let's see what else we got. While we're on the topic of dogs, I carry a big bin full of dog things that this just stays in the truck with us, but comes along on every hunt. Food bowls. My short hair is a princess when it comes to camping. He gets to wear this lovely little jacket to keep him warm at night. We've used it a few times and it actually works really well. I got it off, I think, Amazon. I don't even know the brand. If anybody's interested in what brand it is, hit me up. I'll find the link to it on Amazon and send it to you. The struggle that we have with my short hair is he is very deep-chested for how little he is. So finding a vest or anything to fit him around the chest is a nightmare. This is a 2X, fits him like a champ. Best fitting little thing that I've ever tried to put on him. I carry a box full of miscellaneous dog boot things, from duct tape to I made boots out of tire tubes. I've got the paws. They look like water balloons to put on their feet. Fortunately, I really haven't had to use any of this stuff. I got hand and nail therapy. I haven't used that either. This is just an emergency. We get a really bad ripped up paw, and the bird hunting is so fantastic that we got to just deal with it. Let's see what else we got in here. Mallet, tie downs, and then various lengths cable to tie them up when we're at camp. I have this Phyto Pro Airlift. I used to carry this in my pack all the way up until this year. I've never had to use it, but I've come close a few times. I'm hoping that the straps that I put on the vest keep me from carrying this thing, which is reasonably bulky and more complicated than you'd think. Getting it straightened out and around him is kind of tough, and then getting him in a comfortable carrying position with this is not as ideal as you think it would be. I got the other 3 dog boots for when I lose one out of the vest. We've got hydrocortisone spray, which we've used. I've got various medications that I'm sure are expired at this point, but we're going to use them anyhow. Bud, did you not just hear me talking to Dixie? We've got pain medicine. We've got some antibiotics. I've got extra Benadryl. Apparently I carry a squirrel in case Chester gets really depressed. Extra little water dish. Extra little Q-tips. They always get stuff in their eyes. So this helps clean some of that out. And then recently we've discovered that cheatgrass gets in ears and is really hard to see. So I actually bought an otoscope so I can look in ears and do a better job cleaning those out. I keep some saline rinse in the truck too that I can rinse and flush their ears with if need be. Hopefully this is more stuff than I'm ever gonna need. But we carry it just to be safe. And then I've got a hunting bag that usually comes with. And in this bag, new for this year, we have snake gaiters. I just bought the cheapest ones I could find off Amazon. We're going sage grouse hunting in Idaho in early September. The snakes are going to be out. I'm actually a little nervous about that. We did snake training this summer. Dixie did really well with it. Chester, he was hunting squirrels the whole time. He saw a squirrel in a tree and had no idea what we were doing after that. Could not focus on the snakes. He just ran over every snake that we tried to put in front of him because he was so focused on the squirrels. So I don't know what the Awahis will do with Chester when we're out sage grouse hunting, but I'm at least going to protect me. Got some Upland chaps. Got these at like Gander Outdoors back in the day. I think that they're Gander. Yeah, they're the guide series. They're light, they're reasonably waterproof. I have to spray them a few times every year. But I do like those for walking around when it's wet out. And then this just has our gloves, sunscreen, bug spray. When we're out in South Dakota, the brush really tear the dog's stomach apart, especially Chester. He's actually permanently bald. I can show you. But you got to roll over here. I need to see you. So he's permanently bald from being hunting in South Dakota so much. So I usually put a vest on him. This Cabela's vest is the best fitting vest that we found. And I can usually get about a season out of them before they start coming apart. So I bought just a bunch of them. And then when we're hunting in the snow, since Chester doesn't have any hair on his belly, it just gets purple and freezing cold. I'm afraid he's going to get frostbite right there. I mean, it just gets frozen to the touch. So I took one of these Cabela's vests, and then I took a neoprene vest that I can never find a neoprene vest that fits his chest. I just cut out the vest portion and glued it right to the Cabela's vest. It works like a champ. Keeps him warm, keeps the water off of him. His belly looks, or his chest looks great after wearing this. And I think the last thing that we have to talk about is early season, after your dogs have been walking around on the lush grass and the carpet all day, having their pads get ripped up is an early season problem, especially if you're out in Idaho or Montana. You know, even sharptail hunting in North Dakota, it's rough enough that their pads get ripped up. This Corona ointment is the very best stuff I've ever found. It's for horses. It says multi-purpose, made for minor cuts, sores, burns, chapping, dry skin. When I used to work at the nursing home, we had a doc that would order this for all the old people's skin conditions, and it worked amazing. So I bought some of this to put on their pads when they get sore, and absolutely fantastic. This is the stuff to get. So this is my 2014 Toyota Tundra. I got a ranch cab high topper. Disregard the dirt. It's not like we've been scouting or anything. My truck camper setup. I don't know what the light, how nice this is going to show up. I've got this where it fills the entire truck camper, and it's two pieces of wood that I can stack on each other, and then this slat, I made it so it's a slat thing. This will slide into half, and then I still have all the truck space on one side and then just like a cot over here. And this thing is easy enough that if I want the whole truck bed, I can just pull it out. And it's like the camper setup isn't even there. This gives me enough room to sit up in. You've seen me camping in this thing a few times. And then it gives me some storage underneath that I keep a bunch of totes. I keep some emergency gear, food, camping utensils. I keep the propane burner. I've got a venture forward sleeping pad. It's got foam in there and then it's self-inflating. These are so much better than any air mattress you're ever gonna buy. These don't soften up, they self-inflate. They're so much more comfortable than a regular air mattress. I just bought, this is the DAC or DAC truck topper tent that is made to be able to go over the tailgate, and then it lifts with the window up there. I can't get this thing to fit worth anything. It's going right back to Amazon. Not worth the $200 in my opinion at all. Does not fit. Other camping stuff, I use a cooler for dog water. I can just fill this thing full of ice and they have cold water all the time, and I can stick it in the back of the truck so they always have access to it. This is having enough water that I can just take out and throw at camp and never have to worry about filling their little dish. Is really nice. If you fill it too full and you're jostling down a forest road, it does leak out a little bit, but not too much. Extra gas. This is a Michelin emergency pack, so you can jump a dead battery. It's got a little air compressor in there, and then it's got like a little it's got a 200 watt inverter in it, which is coming really handy. Amazon was nice enough to accidentally send me two when I ordered one, so thank you, Amazon. With this, I can power a fan, so when we're laying in the back of the truck and it's hot, this fan will cool us off, and it'll run for a few hours on low. Or if I leave the dogs in the truck, say we're doing an early season hunt and I'm only taking one of them, I can throw them in the back of the truck, turn the fan on, open up the window some, and I don't have to worry about them overheating. To keep us warm, I have a little ceramic heater. This little ceramic heater, I bought two. I bought the ceramic one, and then I bought like a forced air one, or whatever the other kind that's not ceramic is. Ceramic is the way to go. The air is so much warmer when it comes out. To power that, power the heater and other miscellaneous things, I've got a Harbor Freight Predator generator. This is the 2000 watt. I think the running wattage is 1500, so it's just big enough to power the heater on high. But we've tried the inverter with a battery. I think you remember that from when I was truck camping. I can throw it up here. I feel like there's a small chance I could blow up in here. And I thought the whole thing was going to blow up, and it actually did. I was putting the battery cables on and didn't realize that I had touched the metal end of the wrench to the other terminal, and I had a fireworks show in the back of the truck, and I said, that's going to be about that. We're not doing that again. So I bring the generator. We got a big blue thing full of water. I got like a toaster oven that I bring along that I use sometimes. I always pack a cooler full of food when I go on these trips, lying to myself saying that I'm just going to make supper when we're out at camp, and I never do. It's always gas station food. I'm always up before the sun is, and I don't get to camp until so late that I'm just exhausted. New for this year, I'm excited about this. I got a basket for the front and back of the four-wheeler. So the plan is, especially out here in Idaho, some of the forest roads are terrible, and I'm afraid that I'm going to break my whole entire truck going up and down those. And there's a few that I don't even want to go scout because I'm afraid that I'm never going to get back. So I'm hoping to use the four-wheeler for hunting a lot more this year. To go on this basket in the back is this indestructible dog crate that I got off Amazon. And when they say indestructible, they mean I can jump on this thing and it's not going anywhere. So I can fit both dogs. This thing will attach right to the basket because it's big enough. So I can haul both dogs on the four-wheeler and then put all of my hunting stuff and guns in the front. I'm really excited to try that out. And with this basket, the sides fold up and down, which is good because it gave me just enough room to put this on there. It was deceiving when I ordered. I thought the back came down kind of like a tailgate, but it is definitely the sides. And this thing is like, it's sturdy for being the cheapest one I could find that's this size. Mounting it was a pain, but we got it on there. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that pretty much sums it up for our truck camping and hunting setup and all the gear that we use. If you have any questions about anything that I went over, leave a comment down below. If you want an in-depth review on any of this stuff, I'm happy to make a video about it. This setup has worked really well for us, and hopefully it continues. I will see you guys probably out in Montana as our first destination. We're going after sharp-tailed grouse, so I'm getting really excited about that. If you guys like low-quality hunting videos and things going wrong and the struggles that your below average hunter goes through, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. See what we're going to do this fall. We got a lot of hunting planned, a lot of truck camping planned, and we hope that you join us for it. So leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in Montana.